What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different, more of a maintenance thing than anything. We're going to be doing some brakes, rear brakes on the old Sierra here. It's time. I only got the rear brakes because the rear brakes are like toast in this thing. Wear sensors are set off, said that they're no good. So we're going to try these out. Never bought these before. These are Max Advance Performance brakes. And the reason I'm trying these out is the price point, you couldn't beat them. Bought them online. The reviews were unreal, and it was $226 Canadian, shipped to my door. All the reviews said very low noise, they last a long time. A lot of guys have these on for 4 or 5 years, so we're gonna try them out. They were on the cheaper side. This is their elite, like their premium rotor, cross-drilled and slotted and coated. I don't know if you can see there. So let's open this box up and see what they look like. Haven't even opened this thing up yet. Grab a knife here. Alright, let's see. I have no idea what these are going to be like. I'm really hoping they're not just Chinese garbage that are going to last like 6 months and make all kinds of noise. I got 80,000 kilometers out of the factory rear brakes. Holy. Another box. Okay, we'll get the other box open and we'll check them out. Okay, we got this thing upside down now, so we can actually get in here. I'm curious to see what they look like. I really am. I've never ran anything like this on my truck before. I usually go with like CarQuest or something aftermarket like that. But we're gonna try something different, you know? Get that out of there. Well, there we have it. Finally got it unwrapped. First impression, these things look unreal. Cross-drilled and slotted. And they're coated, so they shouldn't rust. No buildup. I'm curious to get these on and see how they last. I was going to do all the way around, but they only had the rears in stock. So I ordered the rears. And we went ahead with, this is our Elite package, and we went with the ceramic brake pads. The Elite Max. This thing should stop like a Ferrari. So we're doing rear brakes today on this Sierra 1500. So what we're gonna have to do, step one, is put it into service brake mode. So what we're gonna do, without hitting the brake pedal, we're just gonna hold the start button down until your gauges power up here. Okay, everything's powered up. Let the gauges all sweep. Once all your lights go away. Now what we're going to do is we're going to push the park brake button on the left of the steering wheel and the brake at the exact same time, and we're going to hold them down for like 10 seconds. Okay, so engage the parking brake. So now we're just going to wait and hold these two together until we get a yellow light in the tachometer here. So what we do now, let off both, and then you push your park brake button right away. And as of right now, it's backing everything off. So it's backing the brakes off, so we're gonna be able to work on this thing. Just because without that, your parking brake will be engaged. So now your yellow light's on, everything's good to go. The park brake is released. Now we can go outside the truck and take this thing apart. All right, so the next step, now that we got this thing in service brake mode, the back brakes are backed off, so we can take this thing apart. We got it up in the air. We're gonna need our key to get our lock off. 22 mil impact socket. Get this wheel off here, make sure the lock's in spot here. Okay. You don't have to use power tools for this. You can do this in your driveway with a jack. You don't need a hoist. It's not that big of a job. So if you don't have an impact gun or anything like that, you just have like a tire bar or tire iron. That'll work fine too. Let's get this wheel. Get this thing out of the way. Okay, so now that we got the wheel off, this is what we're working with. So this here is what you're backing off. This is your electric parking brake. By putting it in service brake mode, you're backing this cylinder way off. So you can release this. So this, you have your park brake sensor cable, which goes right here. which is the part on your dash that tells you that you have no brakes left. I turned all of that off because I don't like that. All the older trucks, they never had anything like that, so it's up to you. You can disable it in the dash. It's super easy to do, just in your settings, or you can leave it on. It's up to you. I'm going to put the sensor back in, everything the way that it should be, but it's turned off on my dash. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to take these two caliper bolts off, and these are a 14 millimeter. So just grab a 14 mil wrench. Okay, now we got our 14 mil wrench. Let's get in here, take these off. And I'm going to try and take this caliper off without unhooking any of the wires. I don't know if it can be done or not, but we might have to unhook the wires just so we have clearance here. Okay, get those off. Next thing to do, you're going to grab a screwdriver, and right in between here, you want to put your screwdriver up against the caliper and the actual rotor itself. And you're just going to pull a little bit. So this will give you a little bit more play here. This is going to push the actual hydraulic cylinder in. Okay, so now this is free. That's just sitting there loose. Now we're going to see if we can get this thing off of here. Okay, I'm going to take our sensor. This just slides straight out. This is your brake wear sensor. Pull that straight out. Okay, so we got this up out of the way here now. You can see our brake pads. The outer brake pads, they don't look terrible. Inner brake pads are almost metal on metal. And these are 80,000 kilometers. Okay, so I ended up grabbing a bungee cord and just hooking it through the frame here just so this doesn't fall down. It's literally just sitting there, just so we don't lose anything. Everything's still hooked up. The next step, these two caliper bracket bolts, we're going to take these off, and this is an 18 mil. Go ahead with a ratchet. Okay, that last bolt loosened up. You're going to pull this caliper bracket right off. And the reason you got to take this off is we're going to have to change all this brake hardware in here. Get all these cleaned up, lube these slides. And we also have to pull this off so we can get this rotor off. Okay, next you'll need a T30 torque bit, either on a ratchet or a little impact. I got a little 3/8 impact here. We're going to take this bolt out. Okay, try not to damage that. Put that aside. These rotors, if they've been on for a long time and they're all rusty, you're going to have to use a hammer. Get them off of there. Sometimes they can be stubborn. These ones literally just came right off. And you can see, look at the back there. You can see these ones are definitely really rough. So you couldn't just put brake pads on this thing. These rotors are cooked. This side's not bad. They're not terrible anyways. They're not great, but the rear is real bad. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to clean all this up. There's got all this surface rust on here. When we go to put our rotor on, we want this all nice and clean. So I'm going to use a wire wheel on a die grinder. And you can just use a wire brush or anything, light sandpaper, emery cloth. You just want to get this cleaned up, get most of that rust off. Now that we've got most of the big rust off, we're going to go with some brake clean on a rag and just wipe it down. Make sure everything's nice and clean. And then I always like to put a little bit of anti-seize right around this hub here, because that's where the rotor usually gets seized. When you go to take it off, it'll get seized right to this here. So I take some gray anti-seize, or silver. And don't be afraid to put some good amount of this stuff. Okay, so next up we're going to come grab our new brake rotors. Normally when you take rotors out, because these are coated, normally an uncoated rotor is going to be covered in oil. So you're going to want to take brake clean, wipe these off. But because these are coated, they don't have anything on them. They're ready to be installed. And because these are cross-drilled and slotted, there's going to be a left and a right. So sometimes it'll be on the box. So like this one here is, this one is a left. So we're working on the left side of the vehicle. So this is your left side. But if it's not labeled, one way to check is if you're looking at the rotor, the part that's closest to the hub needs to face the rear of the vehicle. So if it's not labeled, that has to be the rear. So the top part, the widest gap, has to be facing the front of the vehicle. I don't know why, but that's just the way it goes. Okay, so now I got my rotor. We're gonna line up. You have the tapered hole here. That's tapered on your rotor. You're gonna line that up with your little lock here. Get that on. I always like to put a little bit of anti-seize at the top of the taper so it doesn't ever seize into here, so you end up breaking that thing off. So I just put a touch at the top, just right here, just right on the taper. Push this flat, get this started. I'm gonna run this in. Okay, now the rotor is on, nice and flat. And that looks good. Almost too good. Almost too good for a pickup. Okay, so now that we got all the new clips installed in the right orientation, just replace them with the way that they came off. You want to pull these off. You're going to pull these rubbers back like this. I've already cleaned these with brake clean, and you put brake slide on them. You want like a high heat silicone grease. Get at any auto parts store. You want to lubricate all these up. And when you put your brake pads, your inside pad is going to look different, because this is where your wear sensor goes. The wear sensor sits right in here. So you're gonna wanna make sure that this is on the inside. Okay, we're gonna grab our caliper bracket, and we're gonna grab our big caliper bracket bolts. We're gonna slide this on here. I got the brake pads are already on. Line all these bolts up in the back here. Okay, we're gonna get those all snugged up. All right, so the next thing we have to do is this cylinder right here. We're gonna have to push this in. So normally you can just push this in by using like a C-clamp with the brake pad. But these ones you have to be very careful because they have that electric motor on the back. So you can't pry on that. So you can get these, which is a brake spreader tool, which they're not too bad. I think you can pick them up for about 40, 50 bucks. And how that works is you're going to put this in here like this, and then it ratchets. So it's going to press that cylinder inside. So if you're doing a four-wheel brake job all the way around, you're going to want to take the cap off of the fluid reservoir. But if you're doing just the rears, you're doing one or the other, then you normally don't have to. So I got that all the way pressed in. Get a little better look there. So now this is pressed all the way in. So we're gonna get this all cleaned up. We're gonna clean this up with brake cleaner rag, and we're gonna lubricate with this with a little bit of brake slide. Okay, that's all nice and clean now. Put a little bit of the high temperature silicone grease just on the mating surface here now that it's all clean. Okay, that's ready to be installed. Okay, so now we got that all cleaned up, lubricated. This thing's ready to go. The brake pads are in. This is backed off. We're going to be gentle with this. There's not a lot of room to fit this between here. A little bit of a struggle there, but we're in. Grab your new bolts. Best thing is to drop them right on the ground. And get these in here. This is with your 14 mil wrench. Once you get everything finger tight, just make sure that everything kind of slides around. You want your caliper to be able to move back and forth freely. It's not going to move a ton because you have new brake pads taking up that. You want to snug these up. You don't want to go too crazy because they're just little tiny bolts, but you want them tight enough that it's not going to come loose on you. Okay, we're going to change our wear sensor. Okay, there's a little cap here. Pop this cap off. This is just going to pop off like that. And then you have a plug back here. And this is what it looks like. So you're going to put this in just like this. It's going to push straight inside. Okay, that's in place. Put this here on your bleeder. Put your bleeder cap back on. Okay, so the brake wear sensor's in. Now we just have to hook up this wire, which goes back here. Okay, then in your brake sensor, you have a clip like this. Grab a little screwdriver. You're gonna push this clip back until you hear it click. Give it a press. Pull out your old sensor. Grab your new sensor. Press it in. Put your clip. And lock that on, and that's good to go. And last thing you're going to want to do before you put the wheel on, you're going to want to double check, make sure that all your caliper bolts are tight, your caliper bracket bolts are tight. There's those two big ones there. Make sure that your wiring's all fastened up, your wear sensor's in the proper spot, everything's good to go. You got your lock bolt on here, that's all centered. You got your anti-seize. This is really important, especially if you have aluminum wheels, because of the dissimilar metals. I like to always make sure that the hub is nice and clean. I've already cleaned this up and put anti-seize on it. So everything's good to go. Let's get this wheel on. Okay, so now that we got this thing back on the ground, all the wheels are on, everything's nice and tight. We're gonna torque these wheels. And from 18 to 22, they're all 140 foot-pounds. So we're gonna start on our lock here. And you're going to want to, after you go take this thing for a ride, you're going to want to do a retorque on it just to double check, make sure that nothing moved. It's always good for extra security. And you're going to want to step on the brake pedal so you can push those cylinders back out to where they need to be. And then you'll be good to go. Pretty simple how to do it. It's not too bad. I did the other side in probably about 15 minutes. So now that we got the brakes done, we're still in brake service mode. So what we're going to do, same thing, we're going to hit the ignition, power up all our gauges. Okay, let everything sweep. Now you should have your service brake mode light still on, so you're going to apply the brakes and the parking brake button at the same time. You're going to hold them down, and then you'll hear them back off there. And then once they're both flashing, take your finger off, hit that one more time, release the brake, and that's good to go. You're ready to rock.